We are on, ladies and gentlemen. So, my name is Rob Howze, and you pronounce it like, how's it going? How's your life? How's everything? And one of the one of my favorite things to talk about is habits and automation and the power of content. So it's three components: habits, automation, and the power of content. And content is just whatever you produce to put your message forward. Content can be in the form of video, infographics, anything that is presenting you, your message, your product, your service, whatever it is. But before we even get into that, we gotta talk about habits, because habits are really the foundation of everything you do. I mean, it's one of those things where we don't even really understand how powerful habits are, because 90% of those things are happening without us even being aware of them. Let's talk about some statistics. So, in regards to habits, we do 90% of the same thing every day. 90% of the same thing we did yesterday, we're doing today, and the day after that, and the day after that, and we don't even know we're doing it. It's called the subconscious mind. It's important to know that is because habits literally shape your future, your now, everything that's going to come. Okay, you have 60 to 70,000 thoughts. This is a scientific, fact. They're now saying 60, 70, 80,000 thoughts a day. 60 to 70, I want you to think about this. 60 to 70,000 cars on the highway of your mind. Okay? So 60 to 70,000 cars on the highway of your mind. Every car is a thought. Every thought, and in those cars there's people, drinking, yelling, laughing, cursing, all kind of different thoughts on the highway of your mind. And if you're not aware of this, what'll wind up happening is you'll start producing behaviors, and then you won't consciously know why you're winding up in situations you're winding up in. Let's break it down. The conscious mind is essentially 10% of you, meaning what you are aware of right now. So right now, you're watching this video. I'm watching the screen. This is conscious. I'm aware of it. Think of consciousness and awareness. Subconscious, you're not aware of. Like, for example, things are happening within inside of you internally, like your blood is flowing, your cellular structure is happening, but you also have thoughts that are accumulating that you're unaware of. So it's super important that you understand that, because the moment you understand that, then you start to become more conscious of the thoughts you're having. This is big, because the moment you use that 10%, it's only 10%. I know 90% we don't have control over, but that 10% actually controls the 90. Whatever you think about intentionally eventually moves into the subconscious and then rolls into your habitual behavior. Think of it like this. If you're trying to lose weight and every day, you're eating late, and you're doing this, you're doing that, and you're like, at the end of the day, you're like, oh, I want to lose weight. I want to lose weight. But you're doing the same thing over and over again, you're going to keep getting the same outcome. But if you consciously say, all right, I am going to at least stop eating after 8. If you consciously say, I'm going to at least stop drinking soda. If you consciously say, and I'm going to plan my meals out. Just 3 things. If you consciously do that, you're going to mentally now put that new file into the file cabinet of your mind. You're going to put a new person into the car, onto the highway of your mind, and eventually it's going to become habitual. So now you'll start doing those things that are benefiting you automatically. Habits and automation are the same, because you do habits automatically. The key is, what habits are you doing? What are you doing? That's the whole thing. And so what's important to know is that at any given time, we can change the game of our lives. So let's talk about how. Let's talk about how we do that. Number one, stillness is a key factor in everything. Stillness is a key factor in everything. If you want to start changing your habits, if you want to start producing the outcomes you want, you're going to have to get away from the noise. Just think about it. If you have 60 to 70,000 cars on the highway of your mind, and they're honking horns and they're going back and forth, it's just chaos, people there, cars everywhere, it's going to be kind of difficult to really get your mind together. But the moment you get stillness, you remove all the cars from the highway. You go into nature, go into your walk-in closet, go for a bike ride, go for a walk, go away from all the external distractions. This is how it works. And then you can start picking those cars you want on the highway of your mind. This is big. You can start picking the cars. How about that? How about picking the cars we want on the highway of our mind? Same in business. Like with automation. Like what you want to do in business is you want to have the right processes in place, the right people in place. And then you want to automate what you can. You want to automate what's working. Okay? Good automation. Let's talk about what good automation does. This is big. This is probably one of the biggest things here to understand what it does. So business automation, it literally empowers people. Like, because if you have somebody who's on a computer and they're just like doing the same thing over and over and over and over, well, they are not being fulfilled. Whether it's like invoice processing or data extraction or whatever it is over and over, mundane. When you automate that, you take that off of them and you empower them. So business automation empowers people. Okay, it's big to know that. Business automation also like supports quality and compliance. Now watch how these are parallel. Business automation supports quality and compliance, meaning if you automate what's working, you're going to have a much higher quality production. There's so many different compliances that we have to follow in business. If you standardize those and you get them right, then automate it, you don't have to ever go back and check again. Hello. So business automation supports that quality and compliance. It's the same with your good habits. Good habits support good quality living. Quality, very similar. Quality. Who doesn't want quality? Who doesn't like quality? I guess like going to the grocery store and you go into the fruits and to the produce section. What do you want? Produce that is not quality? Rotten apples? Brown bananas? I'll take a bunch of brown bananas, please. I don't think so. I think you want the yellow bananas. I think you want those sweet apples. Quality, though. Remember, good habits produce quality. Automation produces quality. See the parallel? Good business automation. Also, it introduces like adaptability and flexibility. Like, so good business automation, it introduces like flexibility and adaptability, meaning if somebody is having to do the mundane, the repetitive, the moment you take them off of that, the moment you are automating your business processes, now you can look at what's happening and you can make those adjustments. You can make adjustments. Your business becomes automatically more flexible because now things are happening automatically and now you can see what is what without you having to be in the what. See, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. true. Step outside the frame and now you can understand the picture. Picture that, right? So good business automation, it introduces that. You get that flexibility. Same thing with the good habits. Same thing. Flexibility. Think about it. I mean, when you got good habits in your life, you think better, you operate better, and it allows you to be more adaptable when things happen. Like if you have your life schedulized, like if you have a good schedule, let's talk about schedules, like for this example. Good habit. A good habit would be to have a schedule, to know what you're doing. Like Andrea, she's run this conference with 1 million people and all this happening. There's no way in the world that she could do this effectively without a schedule, without things itemized and sectioned off and decompartmentalized. That's a good habit. And now she follows that day by day by day by day, and it's happening automatically. So now she can see what's where and what's not. You see this? So this automation and habits, they're parallel. Okay, very parallel. Let's talk about the business automation and how it improves your external communications. I want to talk about that because habits and automation, they're the same so much in this on this level. You know, good automation improves your internal and external communications in business. Good habits improves your internal and external communications in life. Let's talk about automation in business and how it improves that. So let's say, for example, you have a team. Let's talk internal. Internally, if the team is running around like a chicken with the head cut off all over the place trying to get things done, there's not a lot of good communication happening inside the organization. People are trying to put out fires. It can be a mess. Okay? Nobody wants a mess. Nobody wants a mess. When you automate things, now that internal team, they can chill out a little bit. That internal team can communicate a little bit better. It's fascinating what you do when you automate things and you simplify things. Now that internal team, instead of having to put out fires, that internal team can communicate about the things that are going to make the business better. Come on, this is information that is free, but most people don't use it. I think they don't use it because they don't understand. I just don't think people really understand the power of automation. And if you can automate things in your life, what it does, like what it does for your systems, for your workflows, for your productivity, for the industry, for your life. And those good habits create healthy relationships. You know, they do, inside and out. So that internal communication with yourself in regards to habits, think about this. Think about how a person feels about themselves when they constantly don't do what they said they wanted to do. Think about the thing that you said you wanted to do and you don't do it. How do you feel about yourself? You feel down on yourself. When you set a goal or mark and you don't hit it, when you procrastinate or something, it's terrible. And actually, procrastination causes a form of brain damage. Why? This is some new scientific data. Procrastination actually causes brain damage, meaning damage to your brain. Your brain is unhealthy when you don't do what you say you're going to do. Because what happens when you don't do what you say you're going to do, you get these chemicals that flow through your body that don't produce well-being. They produce self-doubt, insecurity, resentment of the self. Shut the front door. You saying a good habit can level up my self-esteem? You saying good habits can optimize my internal talk and positivity? Ooh, yes, certainly can. And so you got to make that change. And you got to make the change to win, actually. Make those changes for the win. Start thinking about what you need to do, how you need to do it, and then get it done. As a matter of fact, talking about changing to win, let me put on this jam real quick. Change to win. Wrote this song about a year ago. It's called Change to Win. I got my kids in here dancing a little bit. Can you see that? Give me a head nod. Okay, good. All right, let's see here. What's that here? Yeah. Make the change, rearrange, and life seems strange, but you gotta keep your aim, stay focused on the game, don't quit. Quitters never win, winning all begins when you begin to believe in yourself again. Yeah, ready, fire, aim, gotta get that. Negativity in my life, gotta get that. Positivity tastes sweet like a Kit Kat. Unity in the community is how we get that change. Rearrange your thoughts and acts, man. You can change anytime, you just need a plan. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. If you make a plan, then you will sail. All across the seas of life, I need the light to keep leading me tonight. I need it right. When I believe I'm right, I live it right. Planting the seeds of life. Make the change to win. Yes, you can. Make the change to win. Make the plan. Make the change to win. You can make the change to win. Change the way we go. We gonna change the way we go. Change the way we go. Make that change. Change the way we go. We gonna change the way we go. Change the way we go and make that change. Change the way you look at that. Change you look at you. Change you look at you. Change your perspective makes you stronger to be stronger to maintain. In your empathy, you can be whatever your mind can see. However hard, gotta make a change. You know, you gotta make a change sometimes, and the change is gonna come. Can you guys hear me? Make sure you can still hear me. Can you hear me? Am I back on the screen now? Okay, good. Thanks, Jack. And you know, understanding what those changes are, okay, for you to win, takes this thing called introspection. Inspect the deck, taking a look inside, whether it's your life or whether it's your business. Remember, these things are very, very similar, very parallel. Making a change to win would take you understanding what those changes are. And so through that process of internalizing how you're feeling, the outcomes you're getting, the actions you're producing, you can make those proper adjustments. And it is super important, especially since we learn that we're doing 90% of the same thing every day and we're not even knowing we're doing it. That is crazy to me. Like, it is simply crazy. But what's even crazier is when I learn that 10% that we have control of, we can actually start to manipulate the 90. And then we can build these habits. We can build these habits that work. This is good. I love building habits that work. I love building automation that works. I feel like I'm in a place of peace when this happens. I really do. Okay. So now I love always like talking about, habits and automation and all that good stuff. But how about the action steps? Like what do we do? What do we do? How do we make these things actually happen? Like how do we create these good habits? What are some things that we can automate in our business? Let's talk about some of those action steps. Okay. So things in your business that you can automate. Lead magnets. Lead magnets are like, okay, you have a product, you have a service, you have something that you're sharing. Well, what is something that you want to kind of give away, right? Whether it's information, an info product, or whatever it is, to bring value to somebody so that they'll see this and they'll be like, wow, that's pretty cool. It's like a magnet and it leads them to you. Well, you want to automate that, meaning you want to, once they say, oh, I like that, you want to then get their email.
Rob, I think we don't have your voice. Okay, you can continue. All good.
Oh, am I good now?
Yes, you are good now. Yeah, I
Okay.
wanted to check.
And so, that lead magnet, automating that is important. Remember, the lead magnet is whatever product or service you have, there's something that you're going to give away. You like sometimes it's a PDF, it's some kind of infographic, some type of information, something of value. Sometimes it's a free gift, but it's something that brings value to your ideal customer, client, or prospect, right? You want to give this away. And then which the automation comes into this part. You want to get their email. And this needs to happen automatically. Get their email. That way you can say, hey, thank you, Jack. Thank you, Jill, for getting my product or taking this action. Really appreciate you so much. And then yada, 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 whatever you say after that. And then guess what? You have another email that communicates with them. Another email. And you have all this happening automatically. It's important. It's where you can nurture relationships automatically. So you got lead magnets, you got your social media campaigns. To some extent, you want to have that automated too. You don't want to be on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Clubhouse, LinkedIn, TikTok, TikTok. You lose your mind. Something has to be automated, okay? To some extent. Like I said, your email campaigns, chat bots is another form of business automation. I'm giving you some business automation ideas so you maybe could think about for your own business or life right now, because you can implement it. It's going to save you stress. Lots of it. Okay? Other things you can automate in your business. Payroll and timesheets. Like, you should not be doing payroll by your hand or by computer. Timesheets should not be documented. This is not 20th century, ladies and gentlemen. We are in the 21st century where these things can happen automatically. And the reason why you want them to happen automatically is so that you don't have to spend energy doing it, because any energy spent is spent. If it's reallocated, it can be reallocated towards something of more value, like working with customers, networking, branding, okay? Other things you can automate in your business. Human resources, okay? If you are an HR or even you're to any extent you have business, the human resources aspect, especially when it comes to like onboarding and offboarding, things like that, automate that. Get it automated. Again, so you can spend your time doing things that you like to do, that you need to do. Okay? Good life automation brings comfortability. Good business automation brings comfortability. All right? Now let's talk about some of those habits. Some of those habits that are good. All right? Some of those habits to build into your life that are good. These are big. All right? Number one, I'll tell you, this may be the biggest one on the planet Earth. Have a nice, clean, empowering morning routine? Just by a show of hands, anybody who has a morning routine? Anybody have a morning routine here? Anybody have a morning routine? Just let me know if you have a morning routine here. I know you have to. I know you have to have a morning routine. There's no way in the world to be a high. Like, it's okay. You don't have one of you that's flowing by. Okay, you get it. But if you have like lots of things to do, no. Don't you think that's a good way to stress yourself out? Okay. Morning routines literally change the day. How you start your morning is how you'll end your day. It's true. Like, if you get up in the morning, you go through this phone, and you start scrolling through, looking at text messages and emails, you're literally cutting your IQ in half. You're becoming less intelligent. These are facts. Well, you want to know why? Because when you wake up in the morning, your mind is at its most optimum state. It's absorbing the most because it hasn't had any distractions, internal, external distractions. So it's open. So if you start answering emails and you start, responding to people, what's happening is you're starting to lose your intelligence. You're becoming reactive. Not saying that you can't do that soon, but the first thing you have to do is for you. Leave the phone alone. Get your inner bath, glass of water. Okay, you'll grab a glass of water. I had this thing called a thankful 3. Think of 3 things you're thankful for. Okay, so the attitude of gratitude. The thankful 3. Think of 3 things. It doesn't take long. I could say, I'm thankful for my beautiful children. I'm thankful for this amazing business. And I'm thankful that this young man who got hurt on the football field, that he actually was able to raise his hand. I can think about those things. And what that does is your gratitude determines your attitude, which ultimately determines your altitude. So everything is about high. Everything is about reaching the most high. You want to be high. You want to be feeling good. And when you're grateful, what happens is it primes your mind to find more things to be grateful for. So if you wake up in the morning, get your inner bath, you start thinking about what you're grateful for. Another thing that I do is I stretch. And then I put something in my ear gates and eye gates that inspire me. Now I am on fire for the day. Like, that's my habit. I've been doing that for, years. I don't know how long. Long time. And it changed my life. I used to get up in the morning and check my phone and WhatsApp, this app, Snapchat. Oh, goodness gracious. All this stuff. And before I even get out of bed, I wonder why I felt so sluggish. I wonder. Well, I'll tell you why. Because the mind, it absorbs everything. And so whatever you put in, whatever you feed it, it's going to absorb. Okay? Let me see here. So, Andre, you can step in anytime and say whatever, because I flow sometimes, and
All good. We have 15 minutes, and then I will off the live show.
Okay, cool. And so, I want to make sure that we can position ourselves, to be as powerful as we possibly can, and be as successful as we possibly can. Angela, I love that picture too. That's a great picture. Look at her, the habit strategist. Let's see. I know she knows. I know what I'm saying is I'm like singing to the choir director over here. I know. Because habits, it formulates who you are, who you become. And one of the greatest habits you can do is start your morning off right. Inner bath, attitude of gratitude, stretch, and put something inspiring into your ear gates and eye gates. Watch what happens. Okay? Watch it. Second thing you can do. Watch your words. Watch the words that you use. I can't really express to you how important this is. Matter of fact, I think I wrote a song about this. I got a little clip. Let me see if I got a clip of this. Yeah, it's the words I am, like whatever you say about yourself, you literally become. So you can say, I am tired. I am a loser. I am a winner. I am a champion. I am wise. I am worthy. Whatever you say, you will eventually become. And so it's important to watch, especially what you say after the words I am. This is like a fact. It's 100% fact. Because words have power. Think about it. Everything on the whole planet came. The inception was words. The genesis of everything we have in front of us. Cars, computers, clothes. Everything started with words. And I am is the kicker. So what are you? Let's see here. Let me share this screen here. Boop. Can you see my screen? Let me see here. All right, here we go. Bam, bam, boom, boom, boom. Let's see here. Share that.
Most powerful words in the human language are I am. Everything you say after I am, you become. It's a really powerful thing to test it out. You probably don't even know you've been doing it. So just get aware of that. I am grateful for everything. That's why the man will sing. I spoken and walking, I talk. And you know who's come on. Be careful. Yeah. Grateful and thankful for this. My family, give up a kiss. Hey, come on. Yeah. For people around me that love. Yeah, when push come to shove. Together we're better together, you know it is love. We don't learn from the words that we're choosing. I am is the words that we're using. If you aren't real careful with the words in fact, you'll wind up with the news win. You'll say the wrong words and get the wrong fruit. Say what happened to me? Look at your hand, buddy. Look at that seed. That's how you get in the tree. Whoa, if you want goodness, gotta bring goodness. Seeds of goodness gracious. Attitude and gratitude, my only way to thank them. Living so good, loving my life. I'm even blessed to distress. I am what I am, and I know that I'm blessed. I am grateful for everything. That's what the man will sing. I am walking and walking, I talk. And you know who's I am be careful. Grateful and thankful for this. My family, give up for this. For people around me that love. Yeah, when push come to shove. Together we're better together, yeah, now it is love. I'm grateful and thankful. Every single thing that I have in my life is true, man. I was hungry for success, so I got a slice of humble pie. Now I'm a new man.
I'm a new man. I am. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. Capital H. What are you saying after the words I am? Trust and believe you will become to some extent. So start thinking about those words of affirmation. Those words, I am unstoppable. Yes. Say it. Say it and believe it. Because that's everything. Words and belief. Words and belief. And so the reason we're talking about that is because the more you start to do that and start to build that habitual behavior of speaking words of positivity and enlightenment and empowerment and encouragement, automatically you will start to feel this way. Yes, I like that. I like I'm soft but strong. I like that. I call that the empath power. Yeah, empath power. I like that. I'm like that too. I actually told people if you could pick two people that you are like if you pick two people, tell me in the chat too, but there's two people, and it can be they're alive or they're gone, two people that you are like the most, like you would resemble the most. You know, mine is Jesus and Spartacus. Because Jesus, he walked in love, and like Spartacus was just passionate and powerful, and he took care of the kingdom. Spartans, look him up. Those are the 300 that took out thousands. Yeah. So think about who you are and speak that. So I speak that so I can walk with love. But I'm also prepared. I'm also ready. I'm durable. Think about those words that you say to yourself. I like that. And I love both of them, actually, Jennifer Lopez and Julia Roberts. And so when you start thinking about that, what are the words you're saying to yourself? What are you saying? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? Are you confident in who you are? Do you doubt yourself? And it's okay if you do, but be mindful of that. It's okay to have doubt, but then remember to step back up and speak those words of empowerment and encouragement. Your inner engineering is super, super important. Okay. Another thing for good habits. All right. Regular healthy meals. Okay. This is big. I know we're talking. I was a personal trainer too for like 15 years. Like, you don't have to eat leaves off trees. Okay. I'm not saying you got to eat leaves off trees. What I am saying is that you do got to eat healthy. You got to be mindful of what you put in your body because this is your temple. And if you're just eating a bunch of sugar, grease, saturated fats, and stuff like that, you're going to feel sluggish. If you feel sluggish, you think sluggish. You think sluggish, you do sluggish. Okay? How you think, how you feel, it produces who you are. And so you want to eat, you want to eat those vegetables and some fruits. I used to tell the kids, just color your plate. Cut your sugar in half and color your plate. Color your plate means, those fruits and those vegetables. If you cut your sugar in half, that means if you drink, 5 sodas a week, drink 2. Start to think about your sugar intake. If you eat candy bars, drink a lot of juice, just cut everything in half. And then color your plate. This is going to empower your body, which is going to empower your mind. I'm telling you, it works. And we're talking about habits, automation, right? We're talking about these things, and we see how they're so similar. And we see how we have the power to create the habits that are actually going to give us the outcome that we're looking for. Habits. We just got to be more intentional. We just have to be more intentional. If we're intentional about the habits we're creating, then we'll be intentional about the moves that we're making. Intentional. Have the intention that I mentioned, right? Have the intention, right? And when you do this consistently, you will start to see amazing things happen. Now,